And I'm looking at where we are, and it's just like, my silence led us here. All of ours did. Okay, well, listen, that's super based of Brianna to at least acknowledge and understand that you can't be silent about the crazies on your side. Don't listen to
True.
Vosh. You can't be crazy about the craziness on your side. If you do, it just allows the crazies to take over your side.
Right. We don't
Because
want people on the right giving a pass to racism and sexism and homophobia. And I don't want the left to become, illiberal, blasphemy laws
right.
party. Like, come on, guys.
President Sunday says the worst part about this whole thing is that this is now the most famous picture of me. It's a picture of President Sunday saying, is this you? And it's the most base thing ever. Hey now! It's your boy PSA Sitch here with another recorded video. Oh my god. Take that, Adam. Today we're going to discuss some Twitter drama. Oh my gosh, some severe Twitter drama is going on with Brianna Wu.
Right.
Who could have guessed? Who could have foreseen this?
Frenemy of the show.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Nothing.
Okay.
Look, friend of the show, Brianna Wu.
There you go. So we're going to do a little bit of a memento here. We're going to read Brianna's apology, and we're going to be like, what is she apologizing for? Let's find out.
Apology tour. These are very popular on the left.
Yes.
Do they work? Not often.
Not really. Yeah. So let's find out here. This is very interesting.
Okay.
So Brianna says, sincere post. I'm genuinely am sorry. Reminds me of like the South Park. I'm sorry. We're sorry. And understand I let a lot of people down. It's not just my opinion that non-binary people are part of the trans community. It's a fact, because it's right there in the WPASS standards of care. You cannot pick and choose which parts count. I also should just not have used that outdated term to describe someone's outfit in an OnlyFans pic, no matter how cruel they have been to me personally. It was wrong, and I will never use that word again. Wow, okay. I'm very curious as to what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
It's also true that as a public figure, I need private spaces to discuss issues like neopronouns, self-ID, demedicalization of transition, and the rest with trans people to figure out what I believe and where to go. But I found the wrong place to do that.
Oh, so much the story of a lot of this internet drama, right? I was talking to the wrong people in the wrong place.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like so many of these leaks are because someone is part of a small group chat, and then people keep adding their friends. Right. But they're like friends of friends, and then one of those friends of friends is actually dirty leaker.
Right.
Sitch.
Yeah.
I'm going to start a much smaller trans group chat, include non-binary people, not invite anyone that's not mature and thoughtful. No snitches. Keep all the snitches out.
That's what it means. Yeah, yes. Definitely. No snitches allowed.
Yes. And surround myself with healthier people. And again, I am sorry. I apologize without reservation.
Right. Okay. So my first takeaway is I have no idea what's happening here. Look, someone's in trouble. But so she criticized someone who had an OnlyFans pic or something.
So, but that's the perfect apology, Adam. It's like you apologize, but no one knows what you're talking about unless they know like the drama.
Yeah, look, I'm not. Did someone get cut? Was there an accident?
So what happened is that somebody, I guess, sent, I don't know who, somebody sent friend of the show, President Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I should call him friend of the show. Somebody sent President Sunday a bunch of leaked screenshots from one of Brianna's group chats, and he just threw them all up on Twitter because, that's a very President Sunday move to do.
Okay, so maybe these screenshots will kind of illuminate what's going on here with the drama.
Right.
All right.
Right.
I feel a little icky for looking at these because obviously...
It's hilarious.
Look, I don't think people should leak DMs. Yeah. I figure like this late in the stage, Brianna's already apologized for it. So,
well,
I don't know.
It's funny because a lot of people are kind of split on these DMs. A lot of people think the DMs make Brianna look better, not worse.
Okay. So maybe it's a good thing that we're taking a look at these, right?
So we'll see
these
how we
DMs
feel
are
about
vindicating. There's nothing better, as someone who has had DMs leaked on him, that the general consensus was that they made Adam look good. I'm like, okay.
Right.
Leak the DMs.
There you go.
As long as I'm not the DM leaker, because you shouldn't leak DMs, guys. What you do when you leak DMs is you destroy your reputation. I mean, you're trying to destroy someone else's reputation, but what often happens is everyone's like, well, don't DM with President Sunday.
The only person that's allowed to leak DMs is me when I'm leaking Doomer's DMs, where he professes his undying love for me and then pretends in public like he hates me.
Look, and we do it for comedy, for comedy reasons all the time, but that's a much different situation. Yeah, obviously.
Okay. So you had the first leak up.
Yeah, what is this? So
we have a picture,
Sissy Hippo Pub.
We have a very unflattering picture of, I believe that's Benny.
Right.
Benny, if you recall, was the individual who quit TYT after all of the Anna Kasparian stuff, who turned out to be a tanky who actually defends Stalin and Mao.
Okay.
And so we have this very unflattering picture of Benny. And someone, not Brianna, someone says it puts the lotion on its skin.
So they're calling Benny a it? Is that what the controversy is?
Well, they're calling Benny Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, okay. So that makes more sense.
Right.
This is a silence. Right. This is a Silence of the Lambs reference here.
Right.
Okay, that makes it a little more hard hitting.
Yes. And then someone else says her dress reminds me of those god awful skirts that femboys buy. Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Then we have someone says, please, at the bottom, Brianna Wu says, God.
Oh, wow.
God. And then someone else says, no. And then Brianna adds to it saying, I mean, if you're not super hot, maybe just dress normally and don't prevent yourself as a transvestite. Oh, no. You can go a long way.
Yeah.
You can go a long way with just being skinny and dressing normally. Wow. Throwing the shade there, Brianna.
Someone says 100%, but we can't click on it.
We can't find out who it was. Okay. So first of all, it's interesting. I didn't know. You can't tell from the screenshot. This is from Benny's OnlyFans?
The picture is, but I think it's obviously, if you clicked on that picture, you could probably see more of it. You know how pictures are sometimes in DMs?
Yes. Yeah. Right, obviously.
So we're not seeing the skirt. We're not able to.
Right.
I
mean,
and you feel however you feel about that, right? Either you want to see the skirt or you don't want to see it.
Right. Okay, so interesting. I don't want to see it. I'm glad I can't zoom in on that. But okay, so the controversy here is that, it's funny. I saw someone respond to this and they're like, "Oh wow, women being catty at other women." This is like, what's the controversy here?
Exactly. Maybe this is what. Look, I didn't really know what to make of this.
If anything, this is just affirming that trans women are women, right?
True. True. Yes. This is one of the most female characteristics I am aware of.
Yes. So there you go. Okay, so that was the first one. The criticism of the dress.
Right.
Okay. President Sunday continues in a tweet underneath that with a second screenshot, if you bring that up.
I got it.
Yeah. So I'm assuming, well, we don't know. Are these all Brianna messages or just the ones that have her little picture on them?
Yeah, I'm assuming just the ones with pictures, right? Obviously. This is a group DM.
Well, did they censor all the other pictures? Because the other ones don't have any icon next to them.
They don't? I see icon. Oh, some of them, I guess, are censored. You're right.
Or they all bring, I don't know. Well, let's see. So this is in the same group DM. It says that the reply is, these people have spent the last 30 years using our struggle as some sort of legitimate front to push their ideology with no regards for our struggle. I'm pretty sure these are all Brianna.
Where is that at?
Are you looking at the wrong tweet? Thing up. Okay, go back to the second, the tab you were just at.
Right.
There's a tweet underneath that.
Okay, I gotcha.
Okay.
Here we go. Got it.
Okay.
Look, I am speaking really honestly here. Is that where we're at?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Look, I'm speaking really honestly here at Heterodox Takes, probably too honestly. I guess now I know who it is, so I'm not saying this is censored. I think these are all Brianna's. But now I recognize leftist culture was always going to take us here. I said nothing about BLM rights because I didn't want the trouble. I
Wow.
mean, that's kind of bad. It's like it shows that Brianna didn't agree with a lot that was happening, but just didn't speak out against it because the left is so bloodthirsty to police and attack its own, right?
Sure. Yeah, I've seen that. I've witnessed that.
Yeah. And I said nothing when the tankies started taking over because I didn't want the trouble. And I said nothing when they took over trans stuff and said you didn't need to have dysphoria to be trans. I like that she's doing the whole Holocaust thing. First they came for, and I said
I
nothing.
noticed that. There's a pattern here.
Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at where we are, and it's just like my silence led us here. All of ours did. Okay, well, listen, that's super based of Brianna to at least acknowledge and understand that what I was kind of saying when we were covering the Vosh Tank thing is that if everyone shuts up on the left and they just allow the crazies to run roughshod, this is what happens. You say nothing because of the rioting, you say nothing because of the tank, you say nothing because the insanity that's going on with some of the trans stuff, and you just let the insane people take over because the sane people are too afraid to push back.
Do you remember the line from the Boondock Saints? This
Which
is
one?
like so Boondock Saints, where they say, the problem is really the people who don't speak up, right?
Yes. Right. Yeah.
As soon as people are cowed into silence and don't speak up when there are obvious problems around, that's when things start getting bad. Yeah, we all got to be brave and speak up.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So it sounds like Brianna Wu is being brave here and speaking up in this private group chat. I mean, look, it's a start, right?
I mean, yeah, it's like, listen, it's a call. Well, I don't know what the timeline of any of this is, but it seems like this is a call to action, right?
Yes,
So
yeah.
hopefully. So Brianna continues saying, "We did it with great intentions, but if we don't stop this BS, leftism will die."
Right.
Interesting. I don't know what she means by leftism.
I know. Look, Sitch, people use that. There's so many different definitions on that word. It hurts.
Is
Like, does she
Brianna?
just mean progressive or does
I
she
don't
mean
know.
socialist?
I
Well,
have
I
no
will
clue.
never know.
I think because I'm old enough to remember when we moved away from transsexual, I'm a bit more nuanced. You have to remember daytime TV was obsessed with the sex and transsexual. So it was trying to water that down. I do think that as transgender doesn't mean anything clinical anymore, it makes sense to bring it back. So that's interesting. So Brianna is essentially saying something that I've talked about, which is that when they changed the language from transsexual transgender, like Brianna's completely right, just because of they didn't like the word sex in it, but
Right.
that's really what it meant. And now the only reason they changed it they changed it to transgender before there was this idea that like gender meant this different thing than sex. And
Right.
then now that gender does mean this different thing than sex, people are kind of using that as like kind of a bad faith way to be like, see, transgender means this completely different thing. It has nothing to do with sex.
It's interesting because sex and gender used to be synonymous. Gender was just the PC way to say sex on government forums and stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had no idea that they changed transsexual to transgender for that same exact
Yes,
reason.
yes, they did. Yeah, exactly.
So, but then all of a sudden, this feminist argument started creeping in that sex and gender were different and gender was the expression of biological sex, like a cultural thing.
Right.
So,
And
and
then
that's when the split came and all the controversy began.
yeah, and then that bleeds over into the term transgender because they use the same term, and they're like, oh, wait a minute. So Brown is actually advocating to bring back transsexual.
To mean, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
the biological component of transgenderism because the controversy is over non-binary, which is
Well,
there
I
a
think in this,
biological component in non-binary? I don't
well,
know.
I don't think this exchange has anything to do with non-binary. I think this has to do with the you don't need to have dysphoria to be trans argument.
Okay. Look,
So I
I
mean, I
don't know
guess it
if
could tie into the
non-binary
non-binary.
people have dysphoria though.
They can, and they also don't have to. Non-binary. I
Okay.
mean, anyone could just declare themselves non-binary. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
So okay. So let's move on to the next leaked President Sunday tweet.
Right. Is President Sunday in this sissy hippo pub?
I'm guessing not.
Right.
I don't think anyone would invite him.
So it's just It's kind of just send him to President Sunday. He'll do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay, so in the next leaked DM, for first President Sunday or whoever made this, highlighted a public tweet of Brianna's in the middle. It says, just want to put on the record that I unequivocally support non-binary people, and anyone that says otherwise is lying for clout.
Right. That's a relatively recent tweet. I think I saw her do it just a few days ago. So
Right.
is this supposed to be you've contradicted yourself and you're a big hypocrite?
Yes, this is supposed to be the contradiction.
I swear, I looked at all this stuff and I just was like, who cares? Like, what?
It's fun, gossipy drama, Adam. How dare you?
Well, look, I don't think I really got it. I was like, why are people upset about this? I feel like such a boomer.
Right. So Brianna at the top says, I think socially, I have no issues with respecting their pronouns. Okay, well, that would seem to confirm at least.
Right.
But then someone says, like, the nippleless top surgery fad seems like a massive red flag. I didn't even know that was a thing. That sounds horrific. People are getting top surgeries with no nipples?
Oh, I remember that from the video that we covered. Yeah.
I don't remember that from... Did we...
Get the Ken doll.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was so bad and creepy.
Yeah, you get the masculinized chest with no nipples.
Yeah,
it's
that
like,
was
what?
Yeah, that was not good. Yeah. So Brianna says, yeah.
Well, that's more funny the way you said it.
Well, that's how you would read that. Okay, it's like, yeah, that's not good.
Well, it could be, yeah.
Yeah. It's a not good. Yeah, it's like, okay. I hate them for pushing that pronoun BS so far. And then Brianna says, fair, it's insanity.
Right.
So I'm curious as to what the pronoun stuff they're referring to specifically is there.
Probably like z, zir, zim pronouns. They, maybe.
Well, I don't know, because Brianna says that they support non-binary people. So
look, I don't think Brianna is in favor of forcing pronouns on people or people using weird pronouns.
I don't know.
She seems like she just, wants to transition and just be normal female, like accepted as female.
Well, see, yeah, and that's what's so weird about all this stuff is because that was like, and I think that's where
the norm, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where Brianna and a lot of older trans people are coming from, which is that like the goal was just, I am one sex, I want to transition to the other sex and then move on with my life and just be acknowledged as that other sex. And now there's all this weird things where it's like, oh, well, I don't want to be any sex. I want to transition into no sex or non-binary, or, I want you to identify me as trans, not as necessarily the other side. And then actually saying it's transphobic to, want to necessarily be identified as the other side. Like the whole thing is just this complete nonsensical gobbledygook.
Yeah, they want to be identified as trans. And the problem is, if you pass well, you're just identified as cis.
Well, if you want to be identified as, and if you want to be identified as trans, then that kind of shows you don't really have gender dysphoria, because the whole thing is gender dysphoria is supposed to be you want to be identified as the other sex.
Right.
And that's what alleviates the dysphoria. If you want to be like, no, I want you to call me trans, it's like, well, I don't know. Like, how could you have dysphoria then? That doesn't even make sense.
Right.
So anyway, so then there's a big post that Brianna was responding to that says, Doe didn't detransition because they still consider themselves trans, but agender. And believe trans is an amorphous blob of a term that means a political statement against the societal concept of gender.
Look at that. Queer theory just stepping right out there.
I know. But they have stopped taking hormones because they also believe hormones are a weapon of societal construct of gender assimilation, and hormones should be a tool to be played with, not a medical usage, because all gender should be abolished.
Sitch, look, it's very insensitive for you to be reading this and laughing hysterically, okay? This is some serious stuff here. These are real issues people are having.
Yeah, but this is the problem. You have that the doe person was the deer person, if you remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why they're named Doe. That was the person that talked about eating grass or whatever. The deer person.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That makes it even more interesting because this is kind of like a sensible take here.
Right. So, well, no, see, this is what's happening with a lot of this movement. There's these young kids who probably have mental and emotional problems, and then they get swept up in this like revolutionary queer theory Marxist gobbledygook stuff, and they go down these pathways where they start altering their bodies, and that's not going to end well for them, probably.
Right. So Brianna responds to that. No. It's just like Darth Vader.
No.
It's just like Darth Vader in the prequels.
Where
No!
is Padme? Where is Do?
Where?
No.
Right. That is not well.
That is not well. And then someone in the DM says, LOL, Void Zona starting an S storm tonight. Doe came up and I repeated the very plausible position that it pronouns are about a degradation fetish. Wow.
That is, yeah. Wow.
Ooh. Brianna coming out hard saying, if you want to be known as it, that's because you're into being degraded. Wow.
I mean, I can at least understand the logic of that.
I can understand the logic of that. I don't agree. I don't think that is what's going on there, but I definitely understand like why someone would come to that conclusion.
Well, if somebody has a degradation fetish, though, I mean, it pronouns would be a step in the right direction, right?
Yeah. That's a good point. People that are into that would people that like literally are into that to the extent that they want to be objectified to that extent probably would.
Yep.
But I think there's probably a lot of these dumb kids running around that has nothing to do with that. So.
Right. Yeah.
And this is funny. It says Demon Mama is in the group chat, and I didn't know they were dating. I wonder. And then Brianna says, "Well, then the police came, and it was all over." So I guess Brianna's saying that she said something about this. She was speaking ill of Doe in some group chat. I don't know if it's this group chat. And it turned out that Demon Mama was in that group chat, and she didn't know Demon Mama and Doe were in a relationship.
Right. Ouch.
Talk about awkward. And then, then Brianna says, I mean, then I asked what she did for a living. That also didn't go over well. Not she, they.
Okay.
So okay.
Brianna basically just being a real human being here.
Yes. Hilarious. Okay, so I don't know if there's more to these leaks. These are the only ones that I saw that President Sunday put up were these leaks.
Right. Okay.
And President Sunday, it's funny. It said you could bring up President Sunday also tweeted this.
Just FYI, Emma Vigeland.
This is the Emma of the majority report.
Right. Look at this little tattletale here. President Sunday, what are you doing?
I know.
Just make content.
I know.
Why you gotta do this little tattletale?
This is content. What are you talking about?
Do you think? Is this on his channel? Maybe is it if he's mining drama?
I'm sure he's done a video on this.
Okay.
This is all like, let me destroy someone else's reputation to increase my clout, right?
Look, 99% of the space is all about reputation destruction. Like that's what all these people are engaging in. I just I'm not in favor of it. We're in the 1% here. The good 1%. We're more interested in just the arguments.
Right.
Yeah.
True. I mean, listen, I like to cover this silly drama. I'm not going to start it.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big difference. If nobody's starting this drama, we're not covering it.
Right. So President Sunday said, just FYI, Emma Vigeland, Brianna Wu, the person you're on the panel with at VidCon recently said this. Like, oh my God. So pathetically lame.
Trying to get involved in the panel.
Yeah, there's a panel on VidCon coming up that Brianna Wu and Emma Vigeland, I think Destiny and Vosh are all going to be on.
I think it's on this Saturday, depending on when this video posts. It may already be up.
So it's hilarious to me that he's like, Nyeh. So this came out.
What's going on with his eye patch? Is he trying to do Academic Agent here? Is he copying Academic Agent now?
No, he's probably doing the eye patch thing. The reason Academic Agent does it, it's a meme from Metal Gear Solid about like someone who's been wronged and they've come back stronger.
Okay.
So I'm assuming he's going for that same thing.
Cool.
So then the last tweet here.
Yeah, what's really going on here?
So a lot of people is really funny. So a lot of people saw these leaks and they're like, I agree with everything Bruno said. And so President Sunday says, the worst part about this whole thing is that this is now the most famous picture of me. It's a picture of President Sunday saying, is this you? And it's the most base thing ever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny. It's been pretty mixed. I've seen lots of trans people, or I don't say trans people, lots of people in the trans/queer community criticizing Brianna for these leaks. I've seen lots of people all over the place, not just in the trans and queer community, basically, commending Brianna for these takes. My position is like, I mean, I'm commending what Brianna said if she's going to change her behavior going forward and say, okay, we need to start calling out and policing like the insane crap that's happening here.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
As of now, this whole situation has changed my opinion of anyone involved 0%. No one did anything. I don't see any wrong, anything right. Look, this is just the big strange event that took place in my mind. So,
mm-hmm. Well, I mean, so I'm curious. We'll see if Brianna actually moves forward with this stuff and actually, talks about to some extent she has, like when she was talking to us, I believe she brought up some of like the craziness that was going on, but just don't, you can't be silent about the crazies on your side. Don't listen to Vosh. You can't be crazy about the craziness on your side. If you do, it just allows the crazies to take over your side.
Right. We don't want people on the right giving a pass to racism and sexism and homophobia. I hope that the conservative movement is past that stuff. And I don't want the left to become, illiberal, blasphemy laws party. Like, come on, guys. Like, you got to call that stuff out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
So any final thoughts? Like if Brianna Wu wants to start calling out illiberal people tattletaling on people and, getting a cancel culture mob together for innocuous stuff, look, I got her back. I definitely got her back.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Is that it?
That's it.
Clip it, CT. Sitch, you want to do one? They're fun.
No, you can. It'll be your thing. It's fine.
Oh, that's great. Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.